when you're in a spot in life where things just seem broken, there's oftentimes a moment in our journey where things just break. But here's the real truth. We are not broken. Yeah, things break, but it does take a group of people believing in you to start building back what you feel is broken. If we invite someone in and we invite a team of people in, then they can start restoring the pieces along the way.
I don't remember much of my childhood due to the fact it was very chaotic. I was born in Bronx, New York. My mom moved us down here in 1989, and I had taken away when I was 3 years old. By the time I was 18, I was in 22 different foster homes and one group home. I grew up in foster care, not knowing love from my mom or my dad. They just treated me like they didn't have to care for me like a parent should. I spoke about some abuse and nobody believed me, and it kept me from getting adopted. They were telling people not to get close to me. My caseworker told me, if you turn 18 and you run away, we're not gonna look for you. It was scary. When I turned 18, I found my mom, but she wasn't in the right frame of mind. She would throw me out, and I would have to be out here in the streets, fending for myself. I met my husband. I heard there was a gentleman at the park selling $2 Coronas. I happened to go to the park, and I saw him, and he was like, "You have a seat on that cooler, I'm gonna marry you one day." Me and my husband got married when I was 21 in 2006. I was hard-headed. I would fight him when all he was trying to show me love. It made it hard on him. But what made me fall in love with him was seeing him not leaving. And that was something that I was used to people doing. For the first time in my life, I felt genuinely loved. And we went to Illinois to spend a year with his family. And that was the first time I experienced love from a family. My husband became sick during the pandemic. We were separated. We called each other. We would stay in contact with each other. I didn't know he had a stroke after delivering me an air conditioner. A couple months after, we reconciled and moved back in. Something pushed me out of bed, and I found him holding his chest. He had another stroke, plus a mini heart attack. So that meant I know to call 911 right away. I'm just blessed to have him because we lost a friend to having a second stroke right around the same time. When I was younger, I wanted to be a nurse. I was taking half a day high school courses and half a day nursing classes at D. Russell Lee. But life happened. I found myself working fast food. I really loved serving the people, but I didn't like the attitude. I was working at a restaurant. My coworker had told me about CityLink and the courses they offered. My first impression of CityLink Center was wow, just feeling welcomed. I was like, yes, this is where I could be. My service coordinator is Emily Blake. My relationship with Emily, at first I was nervous, opening up to someone I didn't know. But as I went, I would talk to her. She would give me scriptures to read, pray with me, stuff that I needed at that time. She referred me to get help. And now to this day, I have telephone calls with my therapist. I prioritized my mental health because I knew it was not only affecting me, but it was affecting my loved ones. I wanted a break from fast food, so I did it. I said this year was gonna be the year that I do stuff different and uncomfortable. I chose culinary to further my degree. And I loved the class. I loved it. And I had the experience when you go in to change to a chef code, and the experience of being actually in the kitchen, learning the mise en place, which is everything in its place, the terminology, and how to cook on a professional stove. Seeing my creations plated and taking it home to my husband and him just, this is good. I love Chef Bill. He is amazing, very patient. Because there was times I was like, hey, can you repeat that? And he never lost his cool. And I learned patience.
In the culinary training, I got to work one-on-one with Idalia as she was sharing her employment goals. Idalia is passionate. She leads with her heart. And she is resilient.
I've been working at Hard Rock. It'll be a year next month. Being a line cook was attracted to me because making food and seeing people eat what my hands created, it brings me a lot of joy. Makes me happy. I love it. I go in with a smile. I'm happy. I'm able to provide for me and my husband. That was a lot of worry on my chest before landing this good job. I've been working with Miss Michelle at Smart Money, and the very first time I sat down and worked on my budget was eye-opening. I had no idea I was misspending that much money on stuff that I really didn't need, like coffee. And now thanks to my new budget, I'm able to attend my first concert. Yeah, I'm really excited to the matter. I just got PTO, paid time off, next month. I've never gotten that from any job because I didn't stay long. I'm proud of that. Me and my husband haven't been able to go see his mom since 2007. I feel really proud now that I can make it happen for him. And me too, because I need my mama-in-law right now. As I look down the road in my future, I will be attending culinary courses at Cincinnati State. I want a food truck. I want to bring Puerto Rico here to Cincinnati. People already enjoy what I make. And I think bringing them what I grew up eating, they will enjoy it more. And I could use that as an educational tool as well, because it really broke my heart during the Super Bowl. Hearing people at work, and I couldn't be like, well, y'all talk to me and I'm Puerto Rican. Every Puerto Rican's American too. That hurt my feelings. And seeing one of my people on stage, I finally understand what representation means. That's why I would love to bring a little bit of Puerto Rico here. I'm proud of my accomplishments. From hearing that I would never amount to nothing to I'm gonna be just like my mother, I feel good because I'm me. And I'm doing it. I'm living proof. I feel like I have a purpose now.
I kind of grew up all over the place. Me and my family moved around a lot. I was raised by my grandparents, and while I was born in the Cincinnati area, me and my grandparents moved to Florida before I even really knew what the difference was. I've always been interested in anything technology, anything I can work my hands around. It's always just been a hobby of mine. I built toolboxes for my grandfather for gifts. Eventually I started digging into more technology, figuring out, okay, where am I gonna find books to understand what I'm actually putting together? My grandparents put a couple books in front of me, and after going to the store a few different times, they ended a few failed attempts. I ended up putting my first working computer together when I was 6 and just evolved from there. I was homeschooled through most of my grade school years, went to public school for my high school years, and after that I started thinking about where can I really take this? Through my mid-20s, I was attempting basically every possible field I could think of. And when I was 30, I lost my grandmother to late-stage cancer and had to move out on my own. And I went from not understanding what it meant to pay an electricity bill to living on my own in less than 3 months. All in all, I just didn't know how to be stable, how to live independently. So eventually that led to more mental health struggles, and that led to me not being able to pay rent. When I was facing homelessness, a friend agreed to take me in for a short period of time and help me out while I looked into what am I really going to do for the long term. And that friend, he told me about Prescalis. He'd always known how much I love IT. So when I first heard of CityLink and the Prescalis program, I heard that I had to get connected with the service coordinator.
When Alex first came to CityLink, he met with Emily Blake, who is his service coordinator. And from the very beginning, they were able to start narrowing in on what his passion and next step would be. And they landed on technology.
She helped me really find that confidence that I was able to do this, because I know I had failed at college through my early 20s. I thought, okay, this IT boot camp is not gonna be something that I'm gonna be able to do. With my own struggle with faith in God to faith in myself, I thought there's no way I can do this. She believed in me, and a lot of my friends believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. So going through the Prescalis program, early on they explained that the entire premise of the program is to help you prepare for and pass your CompTIA A+ certification exams. That's probably some of the hardest exams I've ever passed. It's absolutely worth the effort to go through it, because that A+ is the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in relation to IT. You can go anywhere in the world with one of their certifications, and pretty much anyone will recognize it. I had never really believed in God. My family was religious, but it's something that I always felt forced on me. But when my grandmother passed is when things really started to change. I started going to church with a couple friends, and things started to shift. I found a young adults group and just started to understand what my walk with Christ could look like to me. Learning to believe in myself in Prescalis started helping to understand what believing in Christ might look like. Ever since I've known him, my friend Chuck has been a mentor to me, a father to me. His friendship just means the world to me. My grandparents raised me, and my grandfather was always my dad. My friend Chuck has been that father that my grandfather, just because of his age, never really could be. He taught me to hunt, taught me to fish, taught me to start a fire, set up a tent. All those things that ideally a father should teach his son, he has taught me. And it's just been that father figure I never really had before. Almost a year ago, I met the lovely woman that in a few short weeks will be my wife. Just I couldn't be happier that I met this amazing woman, Liat, and Chuck, he agreed to be my best man. And I couldn't ask for anyone else better to stand by my side. So while I was at CityLink, there were other resources I was able to dive into. I drive an old Honda Fit. It was falling apart at the seams. My service coordinator, Emily, told me about changing gears, and after talking with Tony, was able to get my car and got it working better than ever. They don't charge an arm and a leg for labor. It's an extremely affordable program to make sure you're able to get from A to B. I graduated from the Smart Money program with Michelle shortly before I was finally able to pay off my credit card debt. Now that I've really found this foundation of starting to understand what stability looks like, sky's the limit. We're looking towards owning our own house, maybe have a little land, maybe have some farm animals, live out our dream together.
I grew up with my great-grandmother in Silverton, in a small little town, very quiet. I enjoyed that a lot. My mom, I loved her to death, but unfortunately, growing up, she was very ill coming up, so I didn't really get to have a lot of experiences with her because she was in and out of the hospital and things like that. Growing up on the other side of the tracks from my grandmother mostly, I did talk a little bit more proper. So when I would go to my mom's house and I had to go to, the schools and stuff that were predominantly Black, I would get called, a white girl. That was pretty hard. And then I never really fit in with my siblings and stuff. They felt like I was getting more special privileges than them. So I did get bullied a lot on that front with them growing up. I didn't really get affection as a child. I did get it a lot from my dad and the people I weren't around all the time. And I didn't get it from my grandmother. She didn't really know how to be affectionate herself because she had such a hard childhood growing up. But I found out later, towards the end of her life, that she was schizophrenic and she had dementia, and a lot of my childhood made sense after that. I always wanted to be in the medical field. I wanted to be a doctor since I was a kid, but I just got my blood drawn a lot, and I always paid attention to vitamins. I'm like, I'm interested in what they're doing. So I asked the girl, I'm like, I want to do this, but I'm like figuring out how to pay for the classes and everything. She's like, oh girl, you can get your classes for free down at CityLink Center. I'm like, oh, okay. So that would just set off a chain reaction. I ended up looking into it, ended up coming down and finding the information I needed. My first day coming down to CityLink Center, I was greeted at the front desk. I did my welcome session where they walk you through and explain everything to you. My service coordinator is Miss Kim. I love Miss Kim. She got me through a lot. I actually went through the EMA program, so that's where I started with her. EMA is Every Mother's Advocate, and they help mothers who have lost their children to the system. So the reason I got involved with EMA is because my son, he was getting into a whole bunch of trouble at school, constantly getting suspended at a time where I was just trying to get everything together and keep it together. And I got so overwhelmed that I did end up whooping him, and that ended up leaving a mark that obviously he went to school and they found it, and that's struck off a string of events where they're like, okay, we have to remove the kids from your home. I didn't want to put that trauma onto my kids, but I did lose my cool that day. And I regret it, obviously. I had graduated from phlebotomy after that, but I was having a hard time finding a job at that point. And I was, like I said, it was just a string of events of stuff just going on at that point. Like, my grandmother passed, and I'm just like, I just want to give up, God. Like, I'm tired of being like the strong one all the time for you, but I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna keep my faith. Obviously, there's a lesson I need to learn. There's something I need to see. EMA came through and they helped me. My kids were sent with family members. I do have a strong support system. Everybody was rooting for me to, do better. Like, you got this. Miss Kim, she helped me a whole lot. I actually received a few awards. I think the Resilience Award this year. And I needed those words. I needed somebody to tell me that they were proud of me.
As a mom joins the EMA program, they are paired with two people. They have an EMA coordinator, which is their staff person that supports them through connecting to CityLink resources, talking with Jobs and Family Services about their case. They're also paired with a volunteer trauma-informed advocate, a woman who believes in other women and that they can thrive. And that relationship is a side-by-side. I'm meeting with you weekly and checking in on how you're doing, but we're also talking about crucial things that go on in a parenting relationship.
The EMA program taught me a few new parenting skills that I weren't aware of, especially on the disciplinary side. If I'm not okay, they're not okay. So I have to prioritize myself as well. And just remember that you're not alone, even when you feel like it, because there's always God on your side. I graduated from, and that was a requirement, graduate from the EMA program and get therapy. Being in therapy has, it made a big difference. I always encourage people around me to just get into it. I said, Angelique, I really love her. I love talking to her. She's like talking to one of my girlfriends. Like, it's natural with her. I've been working as a phlebotomist for going on about a year now. I started out at University of Cincinnati. Now I'm at Mercy Health. I'm a lab tech. It's a rewarding job. I actually make a very great salary and my hours are great. I love it. I feel like I'm gonna be in this position for the long haul. So I actually have insurance. They invested in a 401k, which I never experienced before. That was actually nice. I just wanna be comfortable. I wanna be able to take my kids to enjoy life. Being the first point of care for a lot of people is nice, and hearing different backgrounds and stories of people, you come across, it makes you more grateful for life, because I do run across a lot of sick people that's battling something. I love my position and I love what I do, and I think I was meant for it.
So I asked for you to bring something with you today, something tangible that represents restoration in your life. What did you bring?
I'm trying to prepare myself because there's gonna be tears when I tell y'all this story. I brought the trinket. It's, to me, symbolizes restoration with me. My husband gave it to me when I was going through some dark times in my life. You look at it this way, it's big. You look at it that way, it's small. He told me no matter how small or big your problem is, the Lord has your back. And with that, I mean, I look at it every day. I carry it in my pocket, and when I feel discouraged, I pull it out, and that helps me.
This played a big part in my restoration. I painted it myself. Her colorful hair represents her freedom to be whoever she wants to be in this world. Her face represents her attitude to never feel sorry for who she is. And then Divine Feminine is just, being who she is completely in her feminine energy, and thriving in it, and not letting this world tell her she's too much. And she's able to take up as much room as she wants, hence her hair being all over the whole canvas.
8 or 9 years before I lost my grandmother, I met one of my closest friends to this day. His name's Chuck. His friendship means everything to me. And this cross is just a reminder of that every single day. Probably nothing more than a $10 trinket at a gas station to some. To me, was everything. Restored my knowledge of what hope is. When all seems lost, that's right where everything's the brightest.
My hope for CityLink, when you think about all the years that we've been open and the changes that have come and gone and are still to come for this collaborative, this place, I hope that we remember God is the ultimate restorer, the ultimate restorer of all things. And his story is so much larger than even the ones we can dream of.